The Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, fight card from Friday, May 2nd, had a bout that gave us, finally, Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barbosa Jr. These two had been circling one another for a few seasons now, but this week, finally, they came together to face one another. And it turned out to be much to do about nothing, as Lopez was able to take on Barbosa's challenge and pretty much silence any critics or doubters that came to believe that Barbosa had an opportunity to change things. Let's talk about this fight, the outcome, and what could possibly be next for either man going forward. When Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barbosa Jr. opened the Fatal Fury City of Wolves card, this fight had been anticipated between these two men for a couple of years, and to the degree that Teofimo had been avoiding Barbosa Jr. It was clear after the first 3 or 4 rounds that this was going to be a night that didn't necessarily favor Arnold Barbosa. First of all, he was not quick enough to keep up with the athletic and mobile Lopez, who seemed to be lively on this night. Teofimo fought loose, he fought with spirit, he boxed and used all of his physical gifts in there. Barbosa was able to catch him here and there with a couple of good clean shots, but was never able to amount the type of onslaught that would jeopardize a victory for Teofimo. There were moments when he took a shot or two from Barbosa that Teofimo seemed uncertain. And what he was able to do was weather the storm with his athleticism, footwork to get out of the way and make Barbosa Jr. pursue. And so now With this victory, Teofimo is 22-1 with 13 KOs, looking to move up to the welterweight division, as some of his contemporaries that participated on this card tonight, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and so are doing themselves. Now, Teo is not the biggest guy in the world, you see, and that's where he could run into some issues going up to welterweight. Though he's, like I said, fleet of foot, he's 5'9" with a 68.5-inch reach, 27 years of age, so it's time for him to make the decision about how he's going to pursue opponents going forward. He can box with athleticism, but with him it's all psychological. He has to be in a great place mentally, and for whatever reason in this particular fight, approaching the promotion leading up to the event of the day, he seemed to be very confident and assured of himself. It was effective enough that we saw Barbosa, who's now, after this match, 32-1 with 11 KOs, befuddled and never looking to take the risks to overcome what was going to be obvious in a distance victory for Teofimo unless he made an adjustment to crowd him, get on top of Teo with pressure and punches, work the body to try to drain his stamina. He didn't do any of those things. He kind of just fought from mid-range to outside and looked to follow Teo around, allowing him to stay in a groove and be loose and feel confident. I believe that Barbosa Jr. came into this fight a little bit overconfident. From his victories over Jack Catterall and Jose Carlos Ramirez, he may have thought that Teofimo would not necessarily be much of a challenge for him. But you still have to put the work in. And now that he's 33 years of age, and you think about it, the years of separation in their ages and the number of fights may have been the difference here, not just their styles. Because Barbosa, he could have done a little bit more physically, I believe, but maybe he was just content with getting this matchup. Teofimo talks a great deal, and he can do a lot to promote a fight. But there are fighters that he will have to stay away from simply because of his size and the fact that though he's better than the likes of Barbosa and Josh Taylor, he still struggled with fighters like George Kambosos Jr. and Sandor Martin, and men at the welterweight division where he aspires to move toward are going to present different problems for him, both strength and confidence wise. The judges' scorecards in this fight read 116-112 twice and 118-110. What that tells me is that Teo was well ahead against Barbosa Jr. and he was really dominant as far as boxing. It'll be interesting if he moves up to welterweight, if he even faces the likes of Devin Haney one day. It could be a great fight for him. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about Teo and what could be on the horizon for him. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.